There we go. Okay, so we're going to start lying down today. So just when you're ready, you can take yourself onto your mat. So any comfortable lying position. So you can either take Shavasana or you can take your feet flat on the ground or your soles of your feet together, but just really a nice, comfortable position to start. I'm just taking a few moments, just at the start of class, just coming away from your day. And just begin to draw your attention inwards. Becoming aware of your breath as it moves in through your nose and out through your nose. Allowing your breath just to be smooth and thorough. As your breath begins to even out, just start to notice your body, just how it's feeling. So noticing any areas of tightness or tension. Maybe directing your breath towards those areas. So try and allow your body just to relax down towards the ground. As your body starts to soften, just take a moment just to see how you feel. Without analysing anything, but just allowing your thoughts just to move in and out through your mind. So in today's class, we're going to do a loving yourself practice. So loving yourself practice means that we ultimately take care of our bodies in our yoga mat. So try not to push or do anything too much, just trying to listen in. And hopefully if we practice that feeling on your mat, then it kind of emanates into our world as well. So obviously just now everything's changing, and it does help just to take care of yourself and just feel a little bit of attention to how you feel about yourself. So we'll start to move a little bit. So when you're ready, you can start moving your fingers and your toes first of all. And then just when you're ready, we're going to start to bend your right knee just in towards your chest. We'll just take the hands either on your knee or your shin here. Just very gently start to draw the knee closer towards your chest. So just easing it in, just stretching through the hips, a little bit through the lower back. We'll take one more deep inhale here. And then we're going to start to stretch through your hamstrings. So if you move your hands, we're coming around the back of that thigh. And then very slowly, we'll start to extend through your right leg. So just take your time moving it up. Just see how it feels as it moves up. Maybe start to move your hands at the back of the leg. But again, if it's in the right place for you, then just stay there. And then if it's useful, you could flex your foot and point your toes a couple of times. And then maybe start to circle your ankle around. Just see how it all feels. Change direction. When you're ready, we'll start to release that leg. So you can draw both of your knees back in towards your chest. First of all, we'll keep the left knee in this time and extend your right leg along the ground. Again, start to gently draw the knee in. See how it feels as you pull it in, and see where you feel the sensation. And then just when you're ready, we'll start to move the hands towards the back of your thigh, and then start to slowly extend the leg up. So without rushing into it, and just kind of exploring how it feels as we move the leg. And once more, either staying with that or maybe moving your hands a little bit further up. And then maybe start to flex and point through your feet. And then circle the ankles. And change direction. So again, from there, slowly start to re-bend the legs. So we'll draw both knees in towards your chest again. So this time on your inhale, we're going to draw the knees in and start to just curl the tailbone a little bit up off the ground. And as you exhale, if you release that back down again. So do that again. So inhale, drawing the knees in, lifting a little bit of your tailbone. And slowly release on the exhale. If you want to, you can lift your upper body as well. So on the inhale, lift up. So you're bringing your nose up towards your knees. On the exhale, slowly release back down. Again, just do that again, just in your own time. Try to start to follow your own breath and move in your own way. We'll do one more of these. And then slowly release all the way back down. And from there, we'll take the hands just behind the back of your thighs. And we're just going to roll a little bit. So you can roll back and roll forwards a few times. Just see how that feels on your back. And maybe if you can, we'll start to roll up to sitting, but just see how that feels and come up when you're ready. So we're going to sit in a cross-legged position. So it's Sukhasana to start today. So if you want to sit in a block or a folded up mat or something, then please do that. But we'll sit up, just kind of stacking your shoulders over your hips and try and relax the shoulders a little bit. We're going to start with the hands just on your knees. So we're going to do some seated cat-cows here. So when you're ready, on an inhale, we're going to draw the chest forwards, pull the shoulders back, maybe lifting up through your chin a little bit. And then as you exhale, we'll pull the belly in, start to use your hands to maybe press back a little bit as you round. Do that again, so inhale, drawing forwards, lifting through your chest. And on the exhale, rounding in. Again, just following your breath. Moving in your own way. And just see how it feels. Okay, we'll do this one more time. Just when you're ready, we'll come back towards the center, so come more into the middle. And we'll just change the cross of your legs. So if you just bring your other leg in front, sitting again. And this time with the hands on the legs, we're going to circle round. So if you use your right shoulder first, just draw it forwards. And just start to make just nice circles. Again, you can go bigger or smaller. Maybe leaning further forwards and further back. Use your hands. And then start to change and go the other way. So just leading round that left shoulder now. When you're ready, we'll make our way back towards the center. So coming from here, we're going to move into Vrasana for a moment. So if it doesn't suit you, you can just bring your legs out in front of you. But if you can, we'll swing the legs to the back and we'll come up and sit so that you're taking your bottom onto your heels. Again, you could use a block here if you'd like and just place that between your legs. But if you can, sitting like this or with the legs out in front. And we're going to stretch the chest a little bit. So you can either, just turn around a little bit, you can either just clasp the hands just at the base of your spine, draw your shoulders back and just open up your chest there. If you can, you could also take your hands behind you. And then it's kind of a little bit like Ustrasana, or camel pose, but we're obviously not on high knees. And then we do the same thing. So we draw the shoulders back, lifting through your chest, maybe dropping the head back. But again, if it doesn't suit you to do that, then just modify it. So that's kind of what the practice is about, just listening in, modifying it where you need to. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release that. So start to walk yourself back up. And then from there, we're going to move to all fours. So we'll just bring the hands in front. Walk the knees back so they're underneath your hips and spread the hands. So from here, we're going to just move a little bit. So again, you're just going to move in your own way, maybe moving your hips gently side to side, whatever and wherever you want to move is kind of the theme for today. So when you're ready, we're going to move to our downward facing dog. So maybe move your hands just a little bit forwards. We'll tuck the toes and start to lift the hips up to down dog. So again, when you get there, you might just bend your knees a lot and just press up and out of your hands, so stretching through your upper back and shoulders. You might want to pedal your feet, so you can bend one leg and then bend the other leg, but just see how it all feels. Okay, when you're ready, on your next inhale, we're going to lift the heels up and we'll just walk with your feet just nice and slowly up towards the top of your mat. So when you get there, unplug the hands and fold forwards towards your legs, but with really bent knees. And you can do whatever you want with your arms here. So you could maybe clasp hold of opposite elbows. You could release the hands, whatever feels best. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands back down. As you inhale here, we're going to lengthen. So come up halfway, maybe move the hands up the legs as you do that. And then on the exhale, we'll just fold back in towards your legs. As you inhale, reach up, rise all the way up. And as you exhale, palms meet the heart. Inhale, we'll reach back up with the arms. As you exhale, folding forwards, again, bending in the knees as you lower down. On the inhale here, lengthen, so stretch through your spine. As you exhale, just folding back in. On the inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, palms meet the heart. So starting to follow your own breath now. So inhale, reach. Fold forward on the exhale, so take your own time to do it. Lengthen forward when you're ready. Fold back in. Reaching up, rising up. Palms meet the heart. Inhale to reach. Holding in. Lengthen. Move back. Reach up. Palms meet the heart. Okay, we'll do one more without me saying anything, so just follow your own breath. When you're ready, we'll all meet at the top. Just palms towards the heart, maybe closing your eyes down just for a moment. See how you feel. Okay, from here, we'll release the hands and open the eyes. So we're going to come in first, a balance move now. So we're going to do tree, but we're going to move through it with a kind of high knee, and we're going to move into our flow from it. So again, there's lots of options, so just take your time. So we'll keep the feet separate, we'll spread the toes. Again, please feel free to be near something so you can touch it. And on the inhale, we'll reach up with the arms. Now this challenges our balance already, so if it feels better to you, bring your hands down before you lift your knee. But if you can manage, on the next inhale, we're going to lift your right knee up. So we'll just start to lift through your knee and see how your balance is. If it feels okay, then stay with the hands lifted. If you need to take your hands down, then take them down. Okay, from here, we'll bring the hands towards the center. So we're moving into tree, so you might want to just take your foot on the ground, the heel lifted, with it a little bit further away from that leg. If you want to bring it in, then just resting the heel on the ankle of the left leg. If you can, start to move the foot, so up towards the inner part of your calf, or maybe you grab hold of it and you take it up a little bit further. If it doesn't feel right, Just work with where you can. And again, bring your hands towards the center. Now from here, if you want to just stay with your hands here, then do that. Maybe today, take your arms out and maybe take a little chin mudra. So that's just the thumb and the pointer finger touch. The elbows bend, shoulders are back. Good, chest lifted. And just breathe. Well done. Okay, from here, bring your hands back towards the center. Now we're going to lift the knee up again. So if you wanted to, you could just place your foot on the ground because we're going to step back to a high crescent lunge. So you could do it from here or you could do it with your foot down. So it's up to you. So when you're ready, just stepping and reaching back with that foot. So as far back as you can to come into this high crescent lunge position. Make sure your feet are quite wide apart. The tailbone drops down, the belly pulls down. And today we're just going to take a very easy position with our hands. So with your left hand, just place it on your chest and your right hand on your belly. And we're just doing that, just listening in. And we're not trying to kind of go anywhere or be anywhere with our postures. And ideally, you kind of want to be in it like 70%. And hopefully this is kind of what 70% feels like. It's not forced, but it's just there. You can bend your back knee a little bit if that helps. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, we're going to release both hands to the inside of your left foot. Just bring them down to the ground. And then we're going to walk them round towards your right foot, not all the way, but if you come towards the long edge of your mat, as you come in, we're going to move to goddess. So turn your heels in towards one another and then turn the toes out the way. And then deep breath in, start to rise up. So we're moving into this goddess position. We'll bring the hands towards the center. Good, so sink through your hips. Now initially, we're just going to take your hands onto your thighs and just gently move side to side. So just seeing how the hips are feeling, without, again, trying to get anywhere in particular. And then when you're ready, slowly come towards the center. Now this time we'll take the arms out to the side. And we're going to move through this. So again, if you wanted to stay in it, you could. But we'll turn the palms up. As you inhale, we're going to reach up and straighten through your legs, which should feel quite nice actually. And then on the exhale, turn the palms down and kind of press down through your hands as you lower back down into that goddess. So we'll do that again. So inhale, reach up, stretching up. And on the exhale, palms facing down, pressing down gently. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So inhale, rising up. And on the exhale, press down. Well done. Okay, we'll rise back up again. So just slowly come back up. When you do, release your hands. And then we're going to turn your left toes up towards the top edge of your mat again. And then turn your right toes towards the long edge. So we're coming in for warrior two here. So you might want to extend your legs, bending into your front leg, pulling back through the hips, and maybe raise the arms up. So we look along the front hand, trying to engage through both of your feet equally here. And breathe. So again, without forcing yourself, without trying to get deeper, just work where you can. And then from here, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to take that right hand down the back thigh, turn your left hand up, and then start to lift up through that hand. So again, we keep the legs the same, but we start to feel this nice stretch and openness through the front of the body. And only if it feels right, look up towards your top hand. Keep checking in with your breath. Make sure it's not kind of becoming ragged and it's still smooth and it's still even. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Then from here, we're going to move to side angles. So we'll come as if we're coming into warrior two, and we'll move forwards a little bit, placing that forearm down towards your thigh, maybe stretching your top hand and then taking it over your ears. Again, that really long stretch position. If you did want to take a little half bind, you could take your hand behind your back. And sometimes that does help to open the chest and rotate round a little bit more towards the ceiling, but just see how it feels without forcing it. Try not to lean too heavily on that front leg, so draw the belly in. Good. Okay, one more deep inhale. Start to rise back up, so pull the belly in, lift back up into warrior two. And then from here, we'll spiral the hands down towards the ground. Turn on the toes of your back leg, so we're coming into this lunge position. From here, we'll step back to plank. So as soon as you come into plank, lower your knees if you need to. If you can hold it for a little bit longer. Because even when we're loving ourselves, we don't want it to be too easy. We want to still kind of look after our bodies and make sure that they are strong. Take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, slowly lower your knees down. We're going to walk our hands back. So coming into Virasana again. So slowly take your hands back. Settle your bottom back down onto your heels. Again, if it doesn't feel right, bring your legs out in front. Okay, we're going to do that little chest stretch again. So bring the hands behind you. You could clasp the hands, draw the shoulders back, and that might be enough. Otherwise, take your hands back behind you. Start to press and open through your chest, maybe dropping the head back. Just see how it feels. Draw the shoulder blades together. Breathe. Well done. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release to rise back up again. And then from here, we'll make our way forwards to that all fours position. So as you come into that all fours, maybe you separate your knees, maybe you move your hips a little bit, maybe you do a couple of cat-cows. So it's all really up to you, and just move in the way that feels right to you. Okay, when you're ready, make your way back towards the center. This time we're going to come into our downward facing dog again. So maybe walk your hands forward a little bit, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. When you get there again, still making any movements that you like. So in this loving yourself practice, it means that we can make choices which are there to suit us. So if you feel like you just want to stay here, you want to move to child's pose, then you can. Otherwise, we'll take a little vinyasa. So as you inhale, we'll move forwards into that plank position. On the exhale, you could lower your knees down first and then bend your elbows lower to the ground. As you inhale, we'll draw the shoulders back, so lift the chest into cobra. On the exhale, release all the way back down. Inhale, coming up, so maybe onto your knees. And as you exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. So just taking that time just to see what suits you and what is the right thing for you to do for your body. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, we'll lift the heels up again and either walk or step towards the top of your mat. So take your time. Separate your feet and just allow yourself to fold towards your legs again, keeping the knees as bent as you need to. Okay, from here, on an inhale, we'll lengthen forwards again. On the exhale here, we're just going to fold back in. So we're coming into this standing forward fold. So you could use a block here if you've got one. You could just have the block in front of you and just use that just to try to encourage yourself forward, and use it any height. If you want to, you could come in for a little bind. So maybe take your two-piece fingers, hook them to the inside of your big toes, and then close that off with your thumb. Bending in the elbows and drawing yourself in a little bit. Again, just do what feels right and bend your knees as much as you need to here. Good. And just again, keep the belly pulled in and the breath flowing. Well done. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release your fingers if you've got hold of that bind. And then as you inhale, just lengthen forwards. On the exhale, we'll fold back in. So we're going to do one more forward fold. So again, use your block. Maybe this time, if you could take the bind again, certainly, but maybe this time you lift your feet up and you place the palm of your hands underneath that foot. So the palm is up. Maybe bringing the toes up towards the crease of your wrists. Again, without force and without feeling that you have to get anywhere. And just listening into your body. So we all have internal dialogues. So conversations that we have with ourselves that kind of encourage us that we can do things which maybe we can or maybe we shouldn't be doing. But that is not the truth. So the truth is how your body feels in a yoga practice, and that's what we need to listen to. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release that. So maybe lifting your feet up, releasing your hands. Again, on the inhale, we'll lengthen, so stretch your spine out once more. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, palms meet the heart. And maybe close your eyes for a moment. Just notice the sensations that you've created in your body. See how your breath is and where your thoughts are at. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes, we'll come in and we'll do the other side. So again, we are going to start with that balance. So you can separate your feet again, either reaching the hands or keeping them by your chest. So as you inhale, if you want to reach the arms up, then lift them up. Again, we're going to start with that knee lift. So on the inhale, we'll start to lift through your left legs, just taking it up. Maybe you touch down again. Maybe you keep your hands down, but just see how it all feels when you get there. From here, we'll bring the hands down. So we'll come into tree. So again, maybe a little bit further away from the leg. Maybe you rest the foot onto the ankle, bringing the foot up a little bit higher or drawing it towards the inner thigh, but just what feels best to you. Palms at the heart and your gaze somewhere steady. Again, please feel free to stay here. If you want to, you could press the palms together and then start to lift the hands up and overhead, but only if it feels right. Well done. We'll slowly release the hands back down. So again, please feel free just to lay your foot on the ground. Otherwise, start to pick up through your left knee and then start to extend back through your left foot. So we're just moving into that high crescent lunge once more. So again, take it to where it feels right. Adjust your feet. Relax the shoulders. And then again, we'll bring the hands in. So right hand to your chest, left hand to your belly. Relax into it. So when you think about it, it does make sense that when you're more relaxed, then the muscles will adapt more and stretch more. But often we kind of get caught up in trying to move deeper and trying to get further into something. But loving yourself and just being thankful for our abilities to come and work on the mat rather than comparing ourselves with others, what they can achieve. We're all very different and unique. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands down, so down towards the inside of the right foot this time. And then when you're ready, we'll start to walk the hands round towards the left. So we're just coming to the long edge of your mat. So when you get there again, we'll turn heels in, toes out. We'll start to move up into that goddess. So palms at the heart, relax the shoulders, trying to line the shoulders over the hips and the tailbones pointing down. And then from here, we'll release the hands to the legs. Maybe just gently move side to side, first of all. So again, do the hips feel the same as the last time you came into this, or do they feel a little bit different? Okay, we'll move back to the center. We'll start to lift the hands up. So again, palms facing up and really slight soft bend in your elbows. So when you're ready, on the inhale, start to lift up. So straighten through your legs. And on the exhale, pressing the palms down, slowly coming back down again. Maybe you go a little bit deeper. So do that again. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, palms down, gently press down. Okay, we'll do that again. So reaching up, use your own breath. And turn the palms and press. Okay, we'll move back up again. We'll stay up at the top this time. And then release your hands. So we'll turn the right toes towards the top edge of your mat. Left toes turning in towards that long edge. So open up through your hips, bending into the front leg. Again, relax the shoulders, try and be in the center of the posture and use your feet to balance yourself on either side. Stretch the fingertips, maybe look along your front hand. And the arms are strong, but they're soft as well. So it's kind of like your arms are floating on the top of water. So rather than being really rigid, they're kind of stretched, but they're relaxed stretched, if you like. And sometimes you can even just turn the palms up and bend your elbows a little bit to release any tension in your shoulders, and then just flip the hands over. Okay, we'll reverse it. So we'll take that left hand down your back thigh, turn the right hand up, start to lift up and look up. Okay, so again, just if it feels right, keep the legs constant. So really squeezing in the glutes of your left hip. Okay, one more deep inhale. We'll move back into side angle. So it's floating back through that warrior two. Lengthen forwards, release the hand down. So maybe stretch up and then reach overhead. Maybe take the hand and drop it behind your back, but only if you feel like that gives you an advantage here. Allows you to draw the chest round, the shoulder back. If it feels better to keep stretching over your ear, then do that. Or any other position, to be honest. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, pull your belly in, start to rise back up into warrior two. From here, release your hands down towards the ground, turning on the toes of that back leg. And we'll step back to plank again. And again, when you move into plank, lower your knees straight away if you feel that you want to. Otherwise, staying here just for a breath or two. It's building up strength in our arms and our core. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Slowly lower your knees down and then start to walk your hands back. So again, coming back into Virasana. Settle there. So relax the shoulders. And maybe you just stay here and sit in Virasana. Maybe that's what your body needs right now. Otherwise, maybe clasp your hands behind your back, draw your shoulders back. Or maybe take your hands behind you. Open up through your chest, draw the shoulder blades together. And allow the head to drop back. But just see how it all feels. And love yourself. Okay, so we are our own life partner. So we have to spend the whole of our lives with yourself. So you may as well. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release. Take your time, come back up. And we'll start to make our way forwards again. So just into that all fours position. Again, when you get there, you just decide what moves do you want to make? What moves does your body want at this time? Maybe it's circling your hips. So I'm just a guide, somebody who gives you some suggestions, and you have to just take that on board or not and do what feels right for you. Okay, when you're ready, we'll make our way back towards the center. And then we'll come into our downward dog again. So maybe move your hands forward, tuck your toes and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Again, it might be child's pose for you. You just have to think what's the right thing. You may stay here, or maybe you take another little vinyasa. So on the inhale, move forwards into a plank position. On the exhale, maybe lower your knees, or maybe you just bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing, or maybe chaturanga. And then take it back, downward facing dog. And breathe. Okay, when you're ready, on your next inhale, we're just going to lift your heels up. And this time we're just going to lower the knees down towards the ground. So just coming into this all fours position. When you come in, you might want to just grab a block or two. If you've not got one, don't worry about it. But we're going to step forwards with your right leg. So if you step your right foot up towards the top of your mat. So we're coming into our low lunge position here. So we've got your knee over your ankle and your front leg, and you've got your back leg maybe sliding back a little bit. So see if you can slide that back. We're going to come in for a little twist here. So we'll keep your left hand on the ground, and your right hand is just going to go to that right knee, and then maybe start to just draw your chest and your shoulder round towards the right. But just see how that feels without forcing it or trying to get yourself to move in any particular way, but draw yourself around. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, slowly release to come back towards the center. And this time we're going to stretch through your hamstring on that right leg. So you're going to start to walk your hands back a little bit. Maybe pull the toes up. So try and align your hips. So sometimes we kind of go a little bit squint here, but keep your hips nice and square. And again, you can just stay with this one. We're just staying here, and you could use blocks, or you can come up higher, adjust it to suit you. If you wanted to, you can also tuck the toes under on your left leg, so your left foot tucks, and then we start to slide back a little bit. So you actually sit your bottom on that left heel. And then from there, you could then fold in towards that leg. But again, just see how it feels. Sometimes you might feel it gives you a little bit more of a stretch, but if it's not the right thing, then don't do it. We need to be able to sit in these postures. So if you get in there and you think straight away, I want to get out, then take that as an indication it's not right. Okay, we'll take one more breath. Start to slowly move yourself forwards again. So take your time as you come forwards. Now from here, we're going to come into our lizard lunge. So we'll move both of your hands to the inside of your right foot, and then start to walk your right foot out towards the right side of your mat. And when you get out there, you could, I'll move back a little bit so you can see my foot, but you could keep your toes facing forwards. You can also lift the toes up and turn them out to the side, which gives us a little bit more space here. The other option is just to move to the outer edge of your right foot. Again, maybe a little bit more stretch in your hip, but just see how all of that feels. Now, option-wise, you can just stay here without doing anything. Maybe bend your elbows a little bit. You could grab blocks and just build a little structure, and you could then take your forearms down towards the blocks. And if you can manage to go to the ground with your forearms, then you can do that as well. But again, as soon as you get there, you need to be in a position that you think, well, do you know, this is okay. I can sit here for a little bit. And if it doesn't feel like that, then just move out of it and come into a position that does. So breathing and just allowing the muscles to relax. And when they're relaxed, that is when they'll stretch. Well done. Okay, we'll take one more big breath here. We'll start to move back up, so just carefully and gently, just pressing yourself back up. And then from here, walk your toes in if you've got them turned out, and then walk them back in towards the center. So you've got one hand either side of your front foot. And then with your back leg, you might also bring it in a little bit, because it's quite hard to move from that position when it's back. And then we're going to move to that all fours again. So we're just going to step that foot back. And when you get there, maybe move your hips a little bit. Then we are going to do the other side, but not quite yet. We're going to have a little seat on your bottom, and you're going to swing your legs round towards the front. Now, when you do that, we're going to come in and do a little upward plank here. So there's lots of options, so use the one that's right for you. We'll separate your feet hip distance, and we'll have the hands behind us with the fingers pointing forwards towards your hips. So option one, you might just sit here. Okay, you can just stay here. Option two, you might just press to your feet and just maybe lift your hips a little bit off the ground. You can always release them back down again. So we just lift the hips and release them down. You could lift them up and hold them. If you want a little bit more, then you're going to press to your feet and then push the hips up. So you come into more of this tabletop position, but only if it suits you. And then if you wanted to, you can straighten your legs and then start to press up, releasing the head back. But just see how it feels and stay in the one that suits you. And we'll not stay here long. We'll take one more breath and then slowly and carefully release everything all the way back to the ground. Bend your knees and then maybe just move forward and just give yourself a little hug. Well done. Okay, from there, we'll make our way back into that all fours position. So slowly swing your legs round, come back in, so your knees are underneath your hips, hands under the shoulders. And you might do a couple of stretches for your wrists when you come in. So maybe flip your hands over so you've got one hand facing back towards your feet or your hips. And then flip that back and then change hands. You might turn both of your hands in towards the center, so maybe that helps to stretch out. So we just turn the palms in, fingertips facing one another, or turn the palms out, fingertips facing away. So all of these things will help to stretch out through our wrists. Okay, when you're ready, come back into that all fours position. We'll step the left foot forward. So just step it up towards the top of your mat again. Again, we're coming in for this little twist. So maybe sliding your back leg back a little bit. Make sure your knees are your ankle and your front leg. So this time we'll have the right hand on the ground, left hand on your knee, and then just start to gently draw yourself down. Maybe you come up onto your fingertips on your right hand so you can rotate around a little bit more. Maybe it gives you a bit more space. So just see how it feels without feeling that you're forcing anything. And that you feel that you're getting a little stretch. Okay, when you're ready, make your way back towards the center. So we'll come in again, one hand either side of that front foot. We'll start to slide back a little bit. So we're straightening through your front leg, starting to pull the toes up, maybe staying here. Maybe you lift your upper body, just work with it how it feels right. Maybe you tuck the toes on the back leg and then start to sink your hips back towards that heel. If it feels right, and fold in. Again, just work with the one that suits you the best. And it might work on one side, not on the other. So again, just being aware of that. Okay, when you're ready, slowly and carefully start to make your way forwards again. So take your time. This time we'll take both of your hands to the inside of that left foot. And then start to walk your left foot out towards the left edge of your mat. So when you get there, keep the toes facing forward. Maybe pick the foot up and turn it out, or turn to the outer edge of your foot, whatever suits you. So staying here, maybe just bend your elbows a little bit. Maybe you grab your blocks, bend your forearms down towards the blocks or down towards the ground. But just whatever feels best to you. Where you can breathe in, so notice when you lose the breath. So remember, yoga without the breath is like a river without water. So it's still a river, but it doesn't flow and doesn't really go anywhere. Okay, we'll start to move back up. So take your time, move yourself up if you're on your forearms up to your hands. Bring your toes facing forward if they're out, and then start to move your foot back in towards the center. Again, you might want to just move your back leg in a little bit because it's easier to then maneuver. And then take your back foot towards the front foot towards the back one, I should say. So coming into that all fours position again. And when you get there, maybe you move your hips a little bit side to side, whatever feels best. Okay, from here, we're going to have a little seat again. We're not going to do that upward plank again, so don't worry. We're going to come down onto your back, actually. So. But we will bring the legs out in front. So if you want to, you can use a little bit core to go back onto your back, or you can just use your hands and just settle yourself onto your back. If you want to use your core, then we'll flex your feet a little bit. We'll reach the hands forward. Take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, we'll start to roll back a little bit at a time. So taking your time. Again, if you feel that you get to a point you need to use your hands, and do that. But slowly and carefully, lower yourself all the way down. Okay, when you get there, we're going to bend your knees. So we'll have your feet flat onto the floor. We're going to come in for a little reclined pigeon. So with your left foot on the ground, lift your right foot up, flex it, and place it on that left thigh. And then from there, we'll start to lift your left foot up. So you might just stay here. If you want to use your hands, take them behind the back of that left thigh, or maybe round the front of your left shin. Just see how that feels. Relax your shoulders. Keep your feet a little bit flexed here. And breathe. So sometimes doing a loving yourself practice can seem a little bit narcissistic, but we reckon that if you can kind of love yourself, then it's much easier to allow that love to move out to other people. So it may seem a little bit selfish, but we're doing it for everybody else's good. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to keep the legs crossed, but we'll release the hands and place your left foot on the ground. We'll come in for a twist, so we'll stretch the arms out. Drop both of your legs over towards the left side. So try and relax your feet and your legs when you get there. And maybe turn your head and look along your right hand. When you're ready, we'll slowly make our way back towards the center. So take your time and cross your legs, and then maybe use your feet just to even your hips up. So we'll change sides, so right foot on the ground, left foot flexed, and place it on your right thigh. Lift your right foot up, maybe take your hands behind the back of your right thigh or your right shin. Relax the upper body and flex your feet. When you're ready again, we'll keep the legs crossed, release the foot down, and then drop both of your legs over towards the right. So spreading the arms, maybe look along your left hand. Okay, when you're ready, slowly back towards the center with your legs. You can uncross them when you get there, and then we'll just draw the knees in towards your chest. So we'll take the knees quite wide here, so start to move the knees out towards your shoulders. And we'll come in for a happy baby. So you can either just stay here, pick your feet up, maybe take your hands by the back of your thighs, maybe the back of your calves or your ankles. Maybe you grab the soles of your feet or hook your big toes. And maybe gently move a little bit, so side to side. Start to press down through your tailbone a little bit more.
you want to extend the legs, then you could do that one at a time, without feeling the need to do it, but actually wanting to do it. You will take one more deep inhale. Slowly start to release your feet and your legs back down towards the ground. As you come in here, we're just going to take a little bridge. So again, you could use a block if you want to. Otherwise, we'll start to press through your feet, start to lift through your hips. Again, if you want to use your block, just place it underneath your hips and lower yourself down. Otherwise, maybe move up a little bit more, but just to where it feels right. Again, if you're on your shoulders, you could take your shoulder blades under your back and clasp your hands, but just see how it feels as you move up into it. We'll take one more deep inhale. And then just when you're ready, again, if you've got the block, remove it. If you're clasping your hands, release it. Slowly release yourself all the way back down. When you get there, widen your feet, so let the knees drop in. Maybe taking one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly again. Start to notice your breath once more. When you're ready, release the hands. I'm going to move into Shavasana now. So if you do want to put on some socks or have a blanket or a jumper, then do that. And just moving into Shavasana when you're ready. Make yourself comfortable. Start to feel the connection of your body with the ground. Start to notice your breath again. Maybe taking a deep inhale through your nose and then breathing it out through your mouth. And continue just to take these deep, full breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you breathe, become aware of your body. Become aware of your mind. You notice where your body is holding on to tension. Where is your mind? Is it wandering? Or is it at home within the breath? Is your mind at ease or filled with restlessness, negativity, and doubt? Let your breath become more smooth and effortless. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose.
Feel the flow of air moving through your lungs and then back out into the world. With each exhale, imagine you're releasing any negative thoughts that may be lingering in your mind. Continue to focus on your breath. On each inhale, think, I am worthy. And on each exhale, I am enough. Let each inhale draw in self-love. And each exhale, release what is no longer serving you. Take a few more breaths. Again, on the inhale, think, I am worthy. And on the exhale, I am enough. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose. And this time we'll just sigh out your mouth. We'll do that again, so deeply inhaling. And then just let it go. You can start to move a little bit now, so through your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking your arms and stretching them overhead, so from your hands all the way down to your feet. And then we'll start to bring the arms back over, maybe bending into your knees and drawing your knees to your chest. And if you'd like, you could roll over onto your side. Just when you're ready. So in your own time, we'll start to make our way up to sitting. So there is no rush, so take your time. Maybe keep your eyes closed or lower your gaze. And we'll just find a seat when you're ready. Bringing the palms together, just in front of your heart. So leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed our Loving Yourself practice. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much. I'll stop that recording and then I'll unmute you.